Alright guys, here's our new pump here. Now when you get this pump, you're going to get these here plugs on here. We'll get this one off for the return line. Here's the one for the pressure supply. Comes out. Now what they do is they put oil in here when they test it at the factory. So I'm just going to try to see if there's anything in there. I did it a little bit earlier. A little bit came out, but it looks like it's all out pretty good now. Now what you can do, you make sure you got some oil that's inside this pump. So you can put the oil in here in the return side, and you turn this here, turn the shaft until you get some oil, fill it up, plug it up, and you put it on. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it from the, go to the reservoir. I'm going to fill it up with oil, and then the return line will go down to here. So I'm going to fill it up, from the reservoir. Then we can turn a little bit, so it'll be a little bit easier. So I'm going to take the plugs, I'm going to put them right back in there, just to keep the trash out. So we get this thing mounted. Where did my one go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, let's get this thing mounted. Alright, it's going to go on there just like this. And you get a real good idea to see where these 3 front bolts were. One is there, one is there, one is there. Here's the 2 on the back. One's there, one's there. So, there's our 3 holes. Let's get him up in there. And it is a snug fit. Alright, once you get your 3 bolts all in there, you can run them on down with your fingers. They're lined up. Then take your 2 shorter bolts, and they should be going right on in there, because once you get these 3 in the front lined up, the ones in the back will go pretty easy. As I mentioned in the previous video, when we uninstalled this, these are 13mm heads. These bolts are going to be torqued up to 18 foot-pounds. I'm going to use an inch-pound torque wrench. That's going to be 216 inch-pounds. Alright, I'm just going to snug it up. Okay, as I mentioned, the torque on these is 18 foot-pounds. Run over them one more time, just to make sure. Okay. Alright, I'm going to take this here hose clamp off. And I'm going to put a standard hose clamp on here. Alright. Hands are greasy. I'm trying to get this plug off of here. One washer on the top, one on the bottom. It's a 24mm wrench. Alright. That's supposed to be tightened to 38 Newton meters. I'm just going to snug it up. It's going to be hard to get a torque wrench up in there. Okay, that should do it. Alright, I'm going to get ready to put the bolts in for the pulley. I'm going to put a little bit of thread locker on here, blue thread locker. Anything that's rotating, I like to always put thread locker on it. Just a little bit of assurance. Doesn't take much. Just a drop. Okay, these outer bolts, as you remember, they are socket head bolts. They're a 6mm hex bit. Okay. Now, the original pump, or I should say the remanufactured pump that was on here before, and the original had a 9mm hex bit inside here on the shaft, so we can hold this here pulley from turning. Now, this here brand new pump has a 10mm, so it's a little bit different. So basically, we're going to hold it, and we're going to screw these down, just snugging them up. That's all I'm doing for right now. Let's get this one right there. Okay, torque on these here bolts are the same as the other bolts. That's 18 foot-pounds. Or as in my case, I'm using an inch-pound torque wrench. That's going to be 216 inch-pounds. Alright, I'm going to run it around one more time just to make sure. Okay. Okay. Okay guys, we got the pump on there now. So we're going to close this video out, and we're going to save the bleeding, getting the air out, filling it up, and going through that procedure. We're going to do that in the next video. So I appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned, and we'll wrap this job up in the next one. All right.